Alright, so today we're going to be talking about how much it costs to buy our boat and how much money we spent refitting the boat. Alright, so we have to do our Patreon draw to see who wins the T-shirt of the month.
T-shirt of the month club.
Go for it.
And the winner this month is Steve Gallup.
Steve Gallup.
So Steve will contact you on Patreon to get your
Coastline
mailing
shirt
information and stuff, and we'll send you this lovely shirt.
Yeah, and if you'd like to try and win a shirt on Patreon, you can join us over there. Links in the description. Or if you just want to go buy a T-shirt, that'll help support us as well.
Yeah.
You can do that on Redbubble, and
links in the description as well.
you can even get cool shirts like this. Fair winds, following seas.
seas.
They're all designed by me. I drew them.
Yay!
Anyways, check it out.
Yeah. So since we weren't selling our house at this point, we needed to buy a pretty cheap boat.
We had a low budget.
Yeah, extremely low. So we looked at a few boats. We found this one, and it was on the market for $19,500. Just immediately, we could tell it was in pretty rough shape and was going to need a lot of work. And instead of getting a surveyor, we did that ourselves. We got a book
On Amazon.
On Amazon.
Yeah, I downloaded it onto my phone as a Kindle and read it a few times.
Yeah, and from there we had a checklist of stuff to look for on the boat. So we went through about an hour and a half or so and
Did our own survey and decided the boat was solid. There was no obvious fiberglass issues, but we knew that the floor was really bad. And through reading on the forums, on the Hunter Owners Forum, there's a lot of information on old boats on specific models. So if you're looking at a boat, go check out any of the owner forums for that model, and you'll find all kinds of stuff that tends to go.
Yeah,
like
and the secret bilge that was on this boat.
Yeah, there was a strange secret bilge that we needed to cut out that we never would have known about.
Yeah.
And the compression post was a major issue that we needed to deal with. It was a major negotiating point as well.
So after all that, we decided to offer $10,000.
Yeah.
And initially he's like,
he said no.
He did say no, politely.
Yeah, and we were very polite in our email, and it was not a quick offer. We kind of wrote a story, a paragraph.
Yeah, our reasons. We weren't trying to be jerks. We were just.
And we'd gotten quotes, or at least like rough quotes, when talking to a marina, an estimate, a ballpark, and.
Anywho, so
blah.
we thought 10,000 was fair in terms of where the boat was in that condition. So. Anyway, he said no, and we left it alone for a couple of months, and then we noticed it was still on the market. So
near
just
Christmas.
around Christmas.
Yeah.
So we sent him an email saying like, "What the hell?"
Friendly nudge. It wasn't what the hell. It was a friendly nudge. We said.
No, we thought, "What the hell?" Send him an email. Not "What the hell?" You still have your boat.
Right. So yeah, we asked him if he still had it on the market, even though we knew he did, and we wondered if he might consider our offer still. And he said, it took him about a week to write back, but he said he would consider our offer, and he wanted to sell it by the end of the year. So, and that's what happened. He got back to us again after January and said, yes, I'll take it. So we showed up with a wad of cash, the biggest wad of cash we've ever had in our lives.
Yeah, reluctantly gave it over.
Yeah, and more money than I've ever spent on a car, even, ever. I don't buy new cars.
So we kept track of all the expenses as we went along.
With the old boat refit.
Yeah, so we could see and also share what our costs were for, pretty good breakdown of what we spent on the boat.
And keep in mind, all of these costs are in Canadian dollars, and all of them there's no labor. We did all the labor ourselves, so there is no
labor cost.
Labor
anyway.
costs.
There was definitely
it's all just
labor.
supplies. Yeah, there was loads of labor. So the breakdowns go like this. The mast, we did the rewiring on the mast, put new spreader lights on. Anchor lights and LED lights or steaming lights were switched to LED. The VHF antenna was replaced. The VHF cable was replaced, and we did a compression post removal and built an aluminum one to replace it. And all of that came to $925. And the most expensive part was actually not a part, and this was kind of labor, I guess, was the crane to remove the mast.
Yeah, that would be the only labor that we did, but we didn't have a choice.
$350 to remove the mast.
Yeah.
So, out of the $510, the total compression post cost. So, That was crazy.
The biggest chunk, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there was nothing we could do about that.
No, actually, it was just about the same amount as putting our boat in the water on crane day.
Makes sense. It's a crane.
Yeah. Next up, we did plumbing. We gutted the whole floor out, everything, and somebody on the forums recommended we change all of the water hosing because it cracks, and if you're going to be under the floor, then you might as well do it. So we replaced it all with PEX tubing. It was about $200 to do that. Replaced the black water tank because it was actually cracked. That was $228. Lots of sanitation hose, $80. A macerator pump so we could dump out when we're 3 miles out. That was $220. And we decided to replace the hot water heater because it was garbage.
Well, yeah.
But we were thinking about not replacing it all. But we thought doing dishes and the occasional shower, it was worth the $410 that we spent. There was a bunch of hoses and clamps, about $120 of miscellaneous on the plumbing department.
Head pump.
Oh yeah, and we replaced the Jabesco hand pump, $89. So altogether, all the plumbing was $1,347.
We definitely knew that the floor or the cabin sole would need to be replaced just from walking on it. So we ripped that apart and took that out, and then replaced that with a lower.
Home Depot vinyl laminate.
Yeah.
Flooring.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
So we used those 3 boxes of that. So after putting all that together, it was $430 for that.
Sails.
Yeah. So we took our sails to North Sails to get them checked out. Like I said, this boat hadn't been used for a good 3 years at least, so we had no idea what the condition would be like. But we were pleasantly surprised. They got back to us that the mainsail was in great condition. Jib was good.
Well, the jib was original jib, and it wasn't a furling jib, but there was a furler on here from the previous jib that got ripped off.
Yeah, from a storm.
So they converted our original
that's what I was looking for.
To a furling jib.
Furling jib, yeah. And then, put UV protection on it. And so the total cost for the sails plus all the lines we replaced.
Sheets and lines.
Yeah,
halyards.
Pretty much all of it, I think.
Yeah.
So all with that as well, it was $1,215.
Yeah.
For the sails and lines and sheets and stuff.
Yeah.
Rope.
There's no rope. Never. It was rope when we bought it until we brought it on the boat.
Yeah.
Sailor talk. Next up is electronics. These are actually updates and not so much refitting because they didn't exist on the boat to begin with.
Yeah. So we didn't have to do any of that.
No, this is optional, and we just thought it was kind of necessary for 2-person sailing. So we bought an autopilot. It was $1,900, a little bit, 1973. It was on sale. It's a Raymarine wheel pilot. And we got a used radar system, which came with a radar, which we haven't installed actually yet, and a chart plotter. And that was $975 used. And there's a pole that we got for the radar pole. That was $100. So that's $3,048
for electronic stuff.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other stuff here. Not too much. Let's go through it really quick. We spent $214 on a new battery. That's just one battery out of the 2. The other one was pretty good. The engine service, we'd spent about $180 on belts, filters, oil, stuff like that. We bought some used fenders from a friend of ours, Tommy, for $20. We bought some midship cleats from him. They were new in the package for $100. And that's about half price of what they were worth new. Actually, they're fancy, weird ones. Various bits of hose clamps, solder, glue, and lots of stuff is the description on this one. $450 of various bits.
Various bits.
And the boat launch was $350. They came with the crane, and everybody split the cost. But our boat was way at the back, and it cost more. So that was $1,314. And lastly, we got Anchor Road. I bought 200 feet from Tommy actually for $100 of 3/4-inch road and road. And
accentuating the road part.
We got 35 feet of 5/16 chain. That was $110, brand new. And we got a Mantis anchor, which would have been about $350, but Mantis was kind enough to sponsor us the anchor.
So we had a grand total after all of this
Where's the grand
shenanigans.
total? Well, it was about $18,000.
Yeah, so it was a little over $8,000 for the repairs or the refit plus the upgrades.
Yeah.
And then $10,000 for originally buying the boat. So a little over $18,000.
Yeah, and if we hadn't added the electronic upgrades, we would have been around $15,000. So yeah, you can get into sailing a 34-foot boat for under $20,000 if you are patient, handy, and patient. and handy.
And handy again.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Resourceful
yeah,
and cheap.
cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are the... And luck. Maybe some luck in there too. But I think
Yeah.
if you're patient, the luck
And
kind of works out.
Low maintenance.
Yeah. We don't have a refrigerator on board yet. We've got some upgrades we want to do for next season because we plan to be spending the full 3-month season living on the boat.
Yeah. So our infamous Dodger and Bimini that
Yeah.
we need, and refrigeration and working stove. We have to fix that a bit. The oven doesn't work. One burner does for the stove, but the oven doesn't.
And a little bit of solar upgrading for power. Wow, that's going to be noisy.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
We got a big fishing boat.
Yeah.
They're so big.
boat. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you found some of that info helpful or at least interesting. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to comment below and we'll do our best to answer them.
Yeah.